They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few.
Oh, don't make me have to lose it.
No, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. I'm in it, loaded, I had to from my enemies, they bringing my old ways back in my day. Would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why ain't rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few. Oh no, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. I've been swimming through the process and you can't see me on the Loch Ness. You can proceed with precaution, give the proceeds to my god kids. Hold on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop quick, buy drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple 100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talking about don't shoot, tell that to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get them comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll run it here. This is D'Onta Foreman. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On first down, Watson eluding the pressure right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Griffin. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They hand off to their big tight end. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. On first down, it's Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Well, Charles, it feels like Lamar Miller's been around the NFL forever, but he's still just going to turn 28 in April. Well, this past year, though, 973 rushing yards, good for 12th in the league.
And you know that he's capable of being a 1,000-yard runner year in and year out, save for some injuries, and maybe utilizing the pass game a little bit more in Houston. 4.6 yards per carry is a healthy number, and that was his highest since 2014 when he was with the Miami Dolphins.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Cameron Jordan able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now Watson setting up the screen for Miller, and he'll go down at the 28. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Flush to his right. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Throwing now is Brees. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Taken from just outside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Well, as they get ready for this next drive, we Shift our attention to a little Super Bowl conversation. The third time that the Super Bowl, Charles, is going to be played in Atlanta, and the Patriots had 35,000 folks come out in Foxborough before departing for a little rally.
How about that? You would think that would be a fan base that might be a little bit blasé.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Reset.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Watson, off play action. Caught here by Griffin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson escaping the pressure right. His throw.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Watson hands this to Foreman, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Well, as the dust settles for the New Orleans Saints on this season, yes, a lot of disappointment for the 2nd year in a row. But, 13-3, number 1 seed for the first time since 2009. Now, they did suffer the first home playoff loss under Breeze and Peyton after 6 wins, but a lot to be proud of this year for New Orleans.
No doubt about it. I mean, that team jumped out right from the word go. Well, let me rephrase that. After a season...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. CD, before this next drive gets going, the Pro Bowl took place January 27th in Orlando. Third year in a row that the AFC has won, and really the third year in a row where the weather in Orlando has not been too kind. It was ice cold 2017, and then downpours the last couple years.
Yeah, in addition to it being cool as well again this year, so rain and cold, that hurts the crowd a little bit, but still, this game has evolved into what I would call a crazier type NFL game. Quick whistles to make sure guys don't get hurt when there's tackling going on. How about receivers playing defensive back? Defensive backs like Jalen Ramsey catching touchdown passes. And to cap it all off, when they awarded...
And the ball is knocked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Ready.
On play action, it's Breeze. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'd open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Shelling through the defense. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. But the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. It was the first time that two AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the two of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning on the other team's home field. The Colts did it twice. Houston did it once.
But as you said several times, hard for Houston to be completely disappointed with the ending. They have a lot to build on for next year. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long.
Back 22. Tiger. Come back. Pass.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. And his throw here is incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
As a general rule, receivers love the comeback route because it puts them right in the sight lines of the guy throwing the ball. But in this case, the defender saw it and were able to knock it away.
The Texans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Come back. Pass.
Out of the gun, Watson. Underneath for Miller. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's got some space here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here we go.
From midfield, here's Breeze. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And it's third down.
12. Check. 11. Check.
Breeze now. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. Throwing on first down is Breeze.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as...
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's J.J. Watt. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. While we have a second, Charles, the Patriots, of course, back in the Super Bowl, getting the 37-31 victory over KC in the AFC title game. Great game, but you know, the Patriots...
nobody believes in them.
Yeah, right. They're playing that underdog card, but I thought it was funny because after the game, they asked Tom Brady, were you guys just trying to use that for your own motivation? He said no comment because they know they're not the underdog.
They know it, but when you've been that great for this long,
you need something.
You've got to find something different. And Tom Brady, I've got to give him credit. Somehow he made his team buy that and believe in it when no one else in the country did. And I think it really started with their first playoff game this year when the Chargers came to town. I know I picked the Chargers.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. Now the Texans will use one of their two remaining timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Watson on first down. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alex Okafor. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
12. Ready.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, with that incompletion, let's look back, Charles, to the NFC title game. We had 2 excellent conference championship games, but on the NFC side, the Rams winning in overtime thanks to Greg Zuerlein. He had 2 huge kicks, but that was really overshadowed because afterwards, obviously, everyone talking about the no call.
Yeah, and we should be talking about Legatron. A 48-yarder to get them to overtime. A 57-yarder to win it in overtime. He should be the guy who should be exalted right now, but you're exactly right. Nickell Robey-Coleman's hit on Tommy Lee Lewis in regulation, when I saw it live, thought it was a bang-bang play. Turned out, it was definitely a missed call. Plus, they missed helmet-to-helmet contact on it as well. So if you're a Saints fan, you are very unexcited about the Rams advancing to the Super Bowl, but I still don't want pass interference to become a reviewable call. The game flow is paramount to me. Let's not slow it down any more than it already is.
Yeah, it could be a slippery slope, then you start doing it with everything, right?
Next thing you know, we'll be reviewing holding. And by the way, you can probably call holding just about every play in the NFL.
Fielded just inside the 20. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Down! Back 22! Back 22!
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Throw right side, complete to Carter. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the counter, it's Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. A shotgun snap for Watson. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And the pitch goes to Miller. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Watson now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Steps away. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Green the line! Green the line! Richmond!
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. To throw is Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. J.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now Breeze. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. It's taken to the 26. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes the Texans now. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense. that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Watson now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Now a handoff to Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watson looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Okafor in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. Able to shake him off. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now Breeze. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. First target, first catch, and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Breeze now on first down. Step, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Breeze going to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Keke Coutee, 44 yards. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it is 28-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. And even 50 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. On second down, Kamara. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Ready? You waiting?
Now Breeze on third down. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And Lutz's kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And now out comes Houston. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed it around, and now the final stages of this one. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Black 22! Black 22!
And Watson's going to throw it here. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And the Saints signal for another timeout. As the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Black 22!
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is taken around the 12. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And some room to maneuver. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
21.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Dancing to his left. And that's caught by Smith. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.